Hi, I'm Reba from the Mystery Box Show. Today's storyteller I met on Instagram through her sexual wellness business, Ardently, and she was delighted to share this story with us as we are with you. Please welcome Tatiyanna Shirley.
Interior, backseat of an old stick shift, moonlight cascading over me. There I am with a cock throbbing in my mouth while I'm trying not to fall asleep. But I do a little, slow back and forth motion so he knows that I'm still with him, but I'm ready to go home. That is until he says the unthinkable to me. He spews out, "Wow, you are so beautiful." And I'm sure that I heard him wrong. So there I am with his cock still in my mouth, and I'm going, "What? What? I don't quite hear you." And he tells me, repeats himself, and says, "You are so cute." Suddenly, I am no longer tired. I've actually never heard of the word exhaustion. I am now 5-hour energy from this point forward. And this took me for such a whirlwind because I was heavily crushing on my friends with benefits. Needless to say, he was not crushing on me. But this was a moment where I started to think maybe this could be something. I felt like he had seen me for the first time. So I started doing the math in my head. I'm saying one plus one is telling me we end up happily ever after together. The cock is in my mouth. I'm deep throating. Moonlight is over me. This is romantic. To make a long story short, I've never been too good at math. So I knew I had to move on, and I took my DSLs with me, aka dick sucking lips. Now, after him, I decided to start my sexual journey. I started to explore and see my options that were out there. And in that process, I was praised heavily for my blowjob ability. I knew I had a gold mine in my hands or face, whatever. So from that point forward, I was just like, wow, this is great. This is my superpower. That is until I met my current boyfriend. We'll name him Tom. And you know how guys are like, oh, I'm a gentleman. I make sure she gets hers before I get mine. My guy was more like, I'm a gentleman. I make sure she gets hers. And that was it. And he was turning me into a real life pillow princess. I could count how many times on my hand, how many times he asked for head, and that would be zero. So I knew it was my responsibility to take the initiative. And it wasn't like I had never given him head, it was just rare. So here we are in his bedroom, and he just finished going down on me for a rounded 30 minutes. His tongue was putting in some serious work. So I'm like gasping and shaking, and my mind is racing, going like, wow, I am dealing with an Olympian here. So naturally, I'm like, I too can put in the work. I too can get the job done, blow job, if you will, if I may. And he astounds me with the words, "No, it's okay, babe. Can I interview you instead?" I am blasted with a cannon. I am shocked at what I just heard. I could not show him my gratitude and admiration for the 30-minute head that he just gave me. And I mean, sure, I could ride him, cowgirl, whatever, but it just was not in the same playing field. My power had been dismantled and launched onto the moon. That's pretty far. Okay. So over time I got the message, and I'm thinking, wow, I suck at head. And can I even say I suck at head if I'm not doing any sucking? Like, I had met my ego in the form of a penis. I practically forgot how to give head. So I stepped down from my throne and was pronounced as a pillow princess. And I was perfectly happy with that. But there was something lingering in the back of my mind, wondering, why am I not good enough to pleasure him in every way? Eventually, Tom and I broke up for like a season. And I wanted to move on and explore my options as I do. And I learned that I never got bad at head. My head game was still right exactly where I left it. So I felt beautiful and cute and validated all over again. Something that was kind of missing in my previous relationship. Fast forward, we get back together, and we weren't hooking up. We were taking things slow. So eventually, we're in my room watching the Avatar, and the sexual tension has built. It's been a while. We hadn't done anything. And he's like, I want you. And I was like, oh, wow. Actually, I'm on my period tonight. So can we just skip that? And he was like, so sweetly, he was like, oh, that's okay, baby. I totally understand, And then a light bulb moment hit. And I'm going, what if I give you head and I want to try to make you come? And he says to me, I'd like to see you try. And try, I did. I gave everything I got. I pulled out all the stops. I could not play around with this. This was my opportunity. You know how Cardi B says in that new song, I want you to hit that thingly thing that's swinging in the back of my throat? I needed that. I needed him to do that. So as his cock is thrusting in my mouth, I could feel myself start to build up and regurgitate. So I'm like, okay, wait, no, you need to swallow that. This is your opportunity. Swallow that down. Okay. And he's like, I'm so close, so close. I'm so close. So that was my driving force. And I was just like, just swallow it. You're a champ. And as he's telling me, oh my gosh, I'm going to come. I'm about to come. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to throw up. I already swallowed it, but it came back. It was not finished. And so as he bursted into my mouth, I vomited all over his crotch. And it was just a mixture of just chaos. So I'm looking down at his penis, and there is vomit, my vomit, all over him and on his hands, on his penis. And I'm mortified. And then I look up to him and he's smiling. And he's like, you did it, baby, you did it. And I'm like, I did it. I made you come. And we're just super hyped. But we're like, oh my gosh, there's vomit on you. So I get up and grab my cum rag like the classy lady I am. I have a cum rag on hand. And I'm just cleaning him up. And we're just cheering and just shocked that this just really happened. And when it's strange how when I regurgitated or vomited on him, it was a big burden, a weight was lifted. I no longer felt that pressure to be sexy and validated through head. I realized that was not my power. He just thought I was this beautiful, extraordinary girl on my own.
Thanks for watching. Tell us what you thought of Tatiyanna's story in the comments below. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can find us at patreon.com/mysteryboxshow. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our upcoming live streams and confession corners. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.